Need some new Commander cards? Well, you can pre-order Commander Legends now from our amazing sponsor, Card Kingdom. Just head on over to cardkingdom.com. Hello, everyone. It's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and I'm here today to talk to you about the absurd cost of playing Magic Arena. So I know, this is a brand new topic. We've talked about like the 5th copy problem in the past, other issues related to the arena economy, but something happened recently that brought the topic of the arena economy and its player unfriendliness back to mind, and it spurred me to calculate how much money I spent this year just getting cards on Magic Arena, and the number is ridiculously high. So anyway, I did an article about this. It's over on the site. It's linked in the description. If you want to kind of see a text version of what we're talking about, you should check that out. It's got some different stuff in there too. But I wanted to do a video and kind of talk about the cost of Arena, why it's getting so expensive, and how much I actually have spent so far on Magic Arena this year. So first off, before we talk about the cards and Kaladesh Remastered and all this stuff, I should say two things. One is, I know I am the whale of whales to some extent, because I need essentially all the cards from a set, and I need them pretty much when the set releases, because I'm playing usually 5, 6, 7 different decks a week between YouTube videos and streams, and we play a lot of janky weird decks, so we can't just be like, oh, we never need Metallurgic Summoning, because odds are we're going to play a Metallurgic Summoning deck, or oh, we don't need Indomitable Creativity, that's not a top tier rare. We're going to need everything, because we play everything. So I know that my experience is kind of like the whale experience, maybe even like the high end of the whale experience. So I know if you're free to play, playing or whatever, your experience is not going to match mine, but it does show just how much it can cost to play Magic Arena. Secondly, Magic Arena does have a free to play option, and Magic Arena is actually, I think, based on what I've read from people comparing it to other games, like somewhat generous when it comes to free-to-play playing. Like I've heard from Hearthstone players who switched to Arena, and they feel like Arena is on par with Hearthstone, maybe more generous than Hearthstone even. So this is not coming from that perspective. Like, yes, one of the upsides of Magic Arena compared to Paper Magic, compared to Magic Online, is you can build decks with your time rather than spending money. You can grind out games and earn gold and get rewards and eventually end up with a top tier deck, although I don't know if that really works with supplemental sets like Kaladesh Remastered, but still, that's not the perspective we're addressing today. And I don't want to diminish the upside of having a free to play aspect, because that really is important to some players. But that's not our topic for today. We're talking from the whale perspective of, I need all the cards so I can play a whole bunch of different decks. How much does that actually cost? And first off, the thing that brought this to my mind recently was Kaladesh Remastered. So we're looking now at my mythics from Kaladesh Remastered, and this is me about $150/150 packs deep into the set. I bought the 90 pack bundle and the 45 pack bundle, and I also spent some random gold I had laying around. And not only did I get the mythics that I got from the packs themselves, I also spent all the wild cards that I got to like complete my set of Aetherworks Marvels and Paradox Engines. So I also dumped all the wild cards from those packs into the set. And as you can see, there are 22 different mythics in the set. That means 88 total mythics to get a playset of each. I currently have 33 of those 88. So I am like a little over a third, little less than half, somewhere in that range, and I'm $150 deep into the set. That means when I go to complete the set, I don't have any Torrential Gearhawks. We're going to play those eventually. I'm sure we're going to need more copies of Metallurgic Summonings. I'm sure at some point, or Indomitable Creativity. That means to actually complete all the mythics from the set, you're looking at $300, maybe even more, maybe close to $400, which is absolutely insane. It is absolutely insane. So to just put in context how insane this actually is, let's say these 22 mythics, and this is discounting Sculpting Steel, which is a buy a box, it wasn't in the set proper. These 22 mythics, for me to get 4 copies of each of them on Magic Arena, it is going to cost me at least $300, maybe $400. If I wanted to get those 22 mythics, a playset of each of them in paper, it's only like $236. So it's actually way more expensive to get these untradeable, undustable, locked in your collection forever cards on Arena than it is to get paper cards, and that doesn't even include Magic Online. On Magic Online, if I wanted 4 copies of all the mythics in Kaladesh Remastered, $17. $17. That's like a single draft. So you can see the price is ridiculous. ridiculous on Magic Arena compared to Magic Online for sure, where it's magnitudes, like 20, 30 times more expensive to get these cards on Arena than is on Magic Online, and even significantly more expensive, not double, but you're talking 50% more or something, to get the cards on Arena that is in paper. So Kaladesh Remastered is what made me think of this, and I started calculating. I was like, wow, I'm gonna have to spend $300, $350, maybe $400 to complete this set. And remember, Kaladesh Remastered, this is actually the third supplemental set that we've had in a row on Arena. We had Jumpstart in August, then we had Amonkhet Remastered also in August, then we had Kaladesh Remastered that just came out. That means in the last 3 months, we've had 3 of these sets. If you go and look at my collection, we can jump around pretty easily, like using the same thing. Jumpstart, I think I'm roughly in the same place where I have about half of the mythics after spending a couple $100 trying to get cards from the set, joining events and scooping just to open the cards to try to build my collection. Amonkhet Remastered, I assume we're going to be in roughly the same spot. Some mythics, a playset of some of the mythics that we've actually played in decks, none of other mythics. So if you add all this together, Magic Arena is getting absurdly expensive to keep up on, assuming you actually want to be able to play historic formats. So I was adding this all together and thinking about it. How much money have I spent on Magic Arena this year? And the number is actually pretty staggering. So here is what I'm using for numbers. So we already talked about the 3 supplemental sets. We just got Jumpstart, we just got Amonkhet Remastered, we just got Kaladesh Remastered. I'm assuming that it cost me about $300 for each of those sets, and I think that's a little conservative. Like, I really do think if I want to get all the mythics from Kaladesh Remastered, it's probably going to be $350, $400, but let's use a conservative number, that it's $300 a set to do a non-standard historic focus supplemental set. So that means Jumpstart, $300, Amonkhet Remastered, $300, Kaladesh Remastered, $300. So that right there, in the last 3 months, is close to $900 on Magic Arena. Then we have 4 regular standard sets a year. In the past year, we've had Theros Beyond Death, we've had Ikoria Lair Behemoths, we have Core Set 2021, we have Zendikar Rising. These ones you normally have to spend around $200 to complete the entire set, because unlike the supplemental sets, which you don't really get as rewards, individual card rewards, you don't get packs on like the Mastery Tree or as rewards, you are getting packs of the standard sets in various places as rewards. So it's a little bit cheaper. So it's about $200 for me to complete those sets. So that's another $800. And then we have 2 historic anthologies, which are $20 each that came out this year. That means in just 2020, and it's not even completed yet, we still got, a month and a half to go or something like that, I have spent $1,740 on Magic Arena, which is absolutely absurd. And that's not counting joining events. It's not counting getting card styles, any of the extra stuff. That is just getting the cards I need to make a deck. And as we saw, this is way, way, way more expensive than Magic Online. It is even more expensive than paper. It is an absurdly high number. And the problem with this is, while spending $1,700 on Magic cards, that might not be that big of a deal. Like, that's a couple of modern decks. That's maybe 1 legacy deck. That's a bunch of commander decks or something. Like, if you're spending that money in paper, though, or spending it on Magic Online, you could kind of justify it, because if you get tired of your modern deck that you spent $800 on, let's say, you can always trade, sell those cards, get a different deck, get cash to pay your bills, or whatever you want to do with it. You can't do that on Magic Arena. Like, that $1,700, it is a sunk cost. Like, I can never trade these cards. I can never sell these cards. I can't turn Angel of Invention into another card that I want if I decide I don't want Angel of Invention. So that $1,700, all I get for that is the joy of playing these cards on Magic Arena, which it is something, but unlike paper or Magic Online, it's not like I can ever cash these out or turn them into other cards, which is a pretty huge drawback. And that means over the course of like 5 years or 10 years, you're going to have $20,000 potentially of untradeable, unusable cards locked into a Magic Arena account if you're a whale on the program, which is absolutely insane. And I'm coming from an incredibly, and I know it, incredibly privileged position. Like, I get to make Magic content for a living. Goldfish picks up the tabs for the cards I need, so I'm super blessed to be in the position that I'm in. But I'm thinking of other people, like average community members. How can you actually play Historic? How can you get the cards you need from Kaladesh Remastered? I don't actually think it's possible. Like, I'm feeling the pinch, and as I mentioned in the intro, I'm like the top 1% of whales on the client because of what I need for making content, and I'm having a hard time keeping up with it. Like, I don't have the jumpstart cards that I need necessarily to play decks. There are cards that I would like to have access to play decks with that I just simply don't have, and I don't even have a good way of getting them. Like, if I need Maelstrom Archangels, what do I gotta do to get Maelstrom Archangels? I gotta open a bunch of packs of a random set, hope to get wild cards from that other set, and then spend those wild cards on Maelstrom Archangel. It is incredibly inefficient. So yeah, I mean, the arena economy, it's always been expensive. That's something that we've talked about a bunch of times before. And Wizards has taken some small steps like duplicate protection to improve the economy, but it's becoming more and more painful because Wizards is releasing more and more sets. We just looked at this huge list. I mean, in just this year, we had 4 standard sets, 3 major supplemental sets, and 2 anthology sets. That's a lot of product to keep up on, and it's not slowing down. We know Pioneer Masters is releasing at the beginning of 2021, a couple of months from now, whatever the exact date ends up being. We know there's going to be more remastered sets to build back towards Historic. So, Wizards, please, if you're listening and watching this, I don't think spending $1,700 a year on untradeable cards that you can never get value back out of is a reasonable thing to ask of your player base. I feel like Wizards really need to take some steps to fix the economy on Arena, because I'm more than willing to spend a lot of money on Arena, and I'm honestly struggling to keep up with it. And like I said, I am super privileged, super lucky, super blessed that this is my job, but I'm struggling with it from that position, which means if you're not a content creator or someone who gets to do this for a living and write it off on your taxes, it's got to be way, way worse and way, way harder. And the problem is, people aren't going to be able to do this forever. Like, at some point, there's going to be a breaking point when people are going to be like, wow, like, I can't believe I'm spending this much money on untradeable cards on Arena. It's not worth it. Like, I'm just not going to play Historic. I'm going to play Paper. I'm going to go back to Magic Online. I'm going to buy a new car with a few years worth of the money that I would have spent trying to play Historic on Arena. Like, it's an absurd amount of money. So Wizards really needs to take some steps to fix this. I think the big steps would be allowing people to just, like, buy the cards they need. That would solve most of the problems. If you could just buy wild cards or buy singles, rather than, if you need a copy of Maelstrom Archangel, opening a bunch of unrelated packs, trying to fill your wild card wheel, or open a wild card and then spending it on Maelstrom Archangel. That's a ridiculous way for the economy to work. So something like buying wild cards, buying singles, having a single store where just like you can click on a card and get a card style. Imagine if you could do that and just get a copy of the card. Like, that would make things so much easier. Could also have like dusting or trading, but Wizards seems very hesitant to add that. I mean, at a minimum, I think they need to upgrade the duplicate protection a little bit. Thankfully, we didn't have any issue with mythics in Kaladesh Remastered in specific, but we did have it at lower rarities, and this is something that keeps coming up. Like, in Kaladesh Remastered, we have Rishkar Pima Renegade. Wizards just released this in Jumpstart a couple months ago, so now I have 4 copies of Rishkar Pima Renegade. I'm gonna eventually open 4 copies from Kaladesh that literally don't do anything. They have absolutely no value because you only ever need 4 copies. The art's the same. There's really no difference between these 2 cards. So now I have 8 Rich cards, which means when I open the Rich card pack, which will inevitably happen as I keep opening Kaladesh Remastered, it's kind of like Wizards just stole that pack from you. Like, I gave Wizards money to get that pack, and my rare of the pack was my 5th or 6th or 7th or 8th copy of Rishkar, which has literally 0 value. So that would be like the smallest acceptable step, but something needs to change. Like, the arena economy, it's incredibly unfriendly to players who have to spend money on it. Yes, I know it can be good from a free-to-play perspective. If your goal is just to play semi-competitively, play one deck, grind for a few months to earn a top-tier deck, the fact that that exists, I think, is awesome. But from the other perspective, where you actually just want to be able to play Magic like you would in paper or on Magic Online, where you play whatever deck you want and switch decks, that is ridiculously expensive and hard to do on Magic Arena. So I really hope that Wizards can make some steps to fix this, because, like I said, it's going to keep getting worse. It's going to keep getting worse set by set as more supplementals come out. So reduce the cost of the packs, Wizards. Improve duplicate protection. Let us buy wildcards. Do something, because having to spend $1,700 a year on untradeable, undustable, unsellable cards is just too much to ask your players, and sooner or later people are going to stop doing it. They're going to move on to other cheaper ways to enjoy their life, other cheaper competing games. More and more of them keep coming out, and being the most expensive game in the world is not actually a good calling card in 2020 when, a lot of people are struggling. We have a pandemic going on. It's not the best time to ask people to spend ridiculous amounts of money on leisure, and Magic Arena is doing exactly that by just putting more and more sets into existence with more and more mythics that cost more and more money to keep up on. So Wizards, please, please, please. I mean, it's not fair to ask your player base to spend $1,700 a year to keep up on your game, especially on Magic Arena where the cards aren't tradable or dustable. So I'm not complaining for myself. I'm super lucky that I can do this because it's my job to do this. But for everyone else out there, it's just really not right. So Wizards, if you can, please do something. Make the economy a little more player friendly. Stop milking the player base for all that you can, and realize that, yes, maybe you lose a little bit today if you make the economy more generous, but you're going to make that up in the long run as people keep playing and keep spending money, rather than people realizing, oh my god, I spent $1,700 on untradeable digital cardboard this year, and giving up on the game altogether and moving on to something else. So anyway, that's how I spent $1,700 on Magic Arena this year. That's what's going on with the economy. Hopefully Wizards will listen and improve it. But how much do you spend on Arena? What's your experience? I know, as I mentioned, I'm the top 1% of 1% in the way I play Arena, because that's how I have to play it for doing YouTube videos, for doing streams. How do you play it? How much does it cost you? Does it feel player friendly to you? What do you think of the economy? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and definitely check out the article on the site as well, and I will talk to you soon.
Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.